wind has been whipping all day, 40 to 60 miles an hour. So the plastic's banging back and forth and everything like that. But I just want to give a quick greenhouse update since I only had 2 days to really build this greenhouse. I mean, taking around like I only had about 2 days to build this greenhouse, so I built the greenhouse. We went out back at a 1,600 plants, saved what we could save, all the important stuff, things we wanted to keep going. Um, and then from there, like I said, it ain't even all set up yet. I didn't even hang wires yet. I just got supplemental light in here. Uh, like I said, we'll start over here with these big beasts. They're about like 8 foot tall. Well, figure that ceiling's 8 foot tall. So these guys are about like 7. Um, we saved some cool. This is our Druidia, which is pretty. Let's see. There's some pods here. We got another Druidia on this side, which is pretty cool. They're pretty nasty. We got a couple different phenos. That's only F1. F1. And then we got like back here, because this monstrosity, I couldn't keep her with her regular guys. We got the chocolate amity back here. This is another. Let me show you this cross. Hold on a second before I get to that. This is awesome. This is one of our shocker crosses this year, and the pheno is phenomenal. Pretty consistent for the most part. I mean, if you look at them, they're cool pods. They blush like a green blushing. Not totally dark foliage, just dark, like forest green leaves. And then we got, these are Tammy's Golden Ghost crosses, which are pretty big. Kept those. I'll just take you around everything. Don't mind the mess. Like I said, we're still cleaning up and doing everything. Here's another one. These are Golden Ghost Prematali cross right here. What's up, guys? What's going on, Patrick? Got Miller Tom in here. I know Tom and Tomas is in here somewhere. These are amities. These are cool because we got a little tiny red amity here that we saved. We have our burgundy, another giant chocolate, which some of you guys know, and then we have our caramel, which is pretty cool over here. So we kept those. The plants are going through a little shock, but not horrible. We got this big beast right here. This is, well, as far as we know, the only chocolate Prematali BBG with a bleeding calyx. Sorry. And she's a monster. She spreads out everywhere. So she's got right pods everywhere. But you'll see that calyx is starting to bleed there. So I guess this might be the only one in existence that we know of. She's a huge producer, only in F1. She's really awesome. Take you around. This girl's struggling a little bit. This is one of our OHMs. She's been struggling. Prematalis, saved a lot of those. We got, let's see back here. Got some gnarly chocolate Naga crosses, big mustard mamas. Mind you, I didn't organize this, so it's all over. These are light peach shockers. So we have light peach here. I have actually mustard right here. And then check out these Prematalis. We got a bunch of stuff. Check out these girls. Look at the tails on all these suckers. And these are Jimmy Pickles right here, man. This is, I'll tell you what, you want true strains, I don't care what anybody says, Jimmy Pickles is the guy to get it. You ain't going to get more beautiful Prematalis than that right there. That's just the way it is. I got another plant struggling. I'm going to have to water. Another big mustard mama cross. This one's pretty cool. This is another cross, but this one had really gnarly phenos, man. Just awesome phenos. So we kept that. This girl is almost 4 years old. Let me try to get the camera. There we go. Focus. This girl is almost 4 years old right here. I'm going to go around this side. This is the Pimenta Puma Hob that you guys love. It's not crazy hot, but just the pods are beautiful, blushing. Another Druidia, awesome one. Look at the phenos on this. This is bad. This is a golden. The Druidia is actually a Golden Ghost cross. She just came out phenomenal. All these girls. Got another one here. But like I said, you know, the plants are struggling a little bit. Not too bad, considering we transplanted everything to pots. So from the ground from the ground. All right, so let me explain something to you. For a lot of guys who grow, you guys have beautiful gardens, potted plants, everything like that. Out in Oklahoma, where we are, we have straight up clay based soil, hard as a rock. Um, so that's why Ink Gardener is really known for the hottest pods around, is because our plants get a lot of root stress from, even though we auger holes and put fresh soil in it, the roots really don't get a chance to penetrate. They get stuck in that hard clay. Once the sun starts to beat on that soil, they get stuck. So the roots, they don't spread out their roots to anchor. So the root balls are really thick but really small. So I'm able to actually, like these big plants, I'll show you. Like this big girl right here, I'm able to put her, in a 3-gallon pot. Same for some of these because the root balls just ain't that big. And that's only because of the soil we have. It's very rich. Don't get me wrong. It's very rich, very healthy, but it's clay. Here's the problem. So when you're digging them up, you don't want to disturb the root system that much when you put them in the pots. But if you don't with the clay, you got to kind of put it in fresh soil and break it up. Seriously, break it up every time you water so that clay starts to really get moist and hold the moisture so the plants don't sag. So like I said, they went through a little bit of stress for the most part. Not too bad. I mean, this one's struggling a little, but then you got ones that are all perky like this. All these girls are really perky. And like I said, don't mind the mess. We didn't organize. We haven't done anything yet. We kind of just took everything, shoved them in here. I literally 2 days built this whole thing, installed gas heater right here, fans going. But yeah, I mean, so the girls are looking good. They're doing good. Phenotypes look great. I think we only kept about 50 because everybody knows Ink Gardener's got indoor grow. So with the indoor grow, what we got to do is make time for, make room for babies to come out here. So Thomas, of course, we still got pods, man. Thanks, Patrick. So it's like, we had to make a big decision to lose a crop. I mean, mind you, we're a small micro farm, so we're not some huge genetically modified farm that, with thousands and thousands of plants. We are a micro super hot pepper farm. We grow anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000. This year we wound up with about 1,600. And really, man, we only saved about 55 plants in here. We have seeds for everything. We'll start a bunch of babies. We'll do everything inside and then bring them out here later in the season. But for us, I think we saved about 55. Those are the strains we're going to keep growing. What's up, Larry D? Thanks, Walker. So Walker knows. Walker did the same thing we did. His brother was working hard and built a nice greenhouse, made the pergola greenhouse, put in fans and all that. You see, we got our supplemental light in, Walker. Just what we're trying to do is just make the summer light for these plants to keep them potted and flowering. And there's, believe it or not, man, even for the struggle they went through, try to flip you around, for the struggle they went through, if you look at some of these plants, like these Primatalis and everything, they're all loaded with flowers. I mean, the plants are small. We picked some smaller ones, but they're all loaded with flowers and pods. And a lot of these guys are doing pretty good. A lot of guys are loaded with flowers everywhere still. So hopefully we'll have a successful winter and keep them going. We're not going to overwinter this year and just keep them dormant. I'm able to maintain about 40 degrees above outdoor ambient temperature with the heater because the heater does about 1,000 square feet. I'm maintaining in the 60s on my soil temp, ground temp, not above temp, ground temp. Your ground temp, for anybody watching who's overwintering and everything like that, if you want to keep your plants alive, got to be above 53 degrees. Once your soil temps in your pots or in your ground falls below 53 degrees, plants are pretty much kaput. So everybody's talking to my wife here. Yeah, Tammy's here somewhere. She's inside watching. She didn't feel good today. But yeah, so things to remember, 53 degrees. I always talk about, I'm going to get into lighting and everything for you guys eventually. I'll give you some good tips. Everybody, all you guys growing indoors, everybody, if you're watching right now, whether it's greenhouse, indoors, in your basement, wherever it is, you need one of these. They're like 12, $20 on Amazon. It's a lux meter. Lumens don't mean nothing. I don't care how many watts you got. I don't care how many lumens the bulbs are or the LEDs are. This is what matters. Lux, the amount of lux to your plants. So for babies, 7,500 lux to the top of the canopy. That's your most efficient growth. I don't care what anybody says. We've experimented. We've done it over years. 7,500 to the top of that canopy. Your plants are going to be perfect. They're not going to stretch too much. They're not going to stay too compact. They're going to grow perfectly, beautiful, and you'll have a mature plant about 6 to 8 weeks. So, oh, definitely. And remember too, like when you're checking lux, so the sun gives off at max 130,000 lux. It's a lot. You'll never be able to reach that in capacity with lighting. I don't care how much light you put in here, how many halide lights you put in, whatever advanced LEDs. You're never going to reach 130,000. Maybe 85,000 if possible. I have about 85,000 watts of light in my indoor grow. I'm able to reach about 80,000 lux, give or take. That's about the highest for mature plants. Usually, you guys ain't going to reach that. You guys are going to, I mean, unless the LED, even if the LEDs, most LEDs won't even give that off. It's all amount of strategically placing them and getting the most efficient lights, especially natural light. And that's like what I do here. People don't understand these 8-foot shop lights that you see, these LEDs. They're probably the best supplemental light. I don't care what anybody says. You guys are wasting money spending $1,200 on these big, huge lights for indoor grows. And if you have a greenhouse, you don't need that because the sun's going to give you as much light as you need. You're just supplementing, so you don't need a bunch of light. Your indoor grow, yeah, you might want them, especially for adult plants. But if you're starting out seedlings and things like that, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it, especially on a scale like the scale we grow. We'll start 3,000 to 5,000 seedlings inside in our indoor grow. Most guys are only growing 5, 10 plants, especially for your marijuana guys and things like that. Some will grow a lot more if they actually have a grow, but then they're set up different. But for greenhouses like Walker, right here, dude, these lights right here, best supplemental light. They're cheap. Get them you could probably get about 6 sticks, 8-foot sticks on Amazon. They all connect to each other. You get them for like, I don't even know, maybe like $120, if that, which ain't that bad. And it does this whole entire place, lights us up. And then I got those guys right there. They're a little brighter. But yeah, so everything's doing good. The soil, I wasn't happy about our soil choice this year. We couldn't get our normal ocean forest, which ocean forest, to be honest, is only good for a certain amount of weeks because then it dries out and the water goes right through them. We went with a different soil, and I'm not real happy with it, but that's okay because most things in here, being taken from the ground to here, we're going to have to up pot eventually. Not everything, not things in 5-gallon buckets, but a majority we're going to have to up pot. So I'll just change out the soil later on. Once they adjust to the greenhouse and the lighting and the humidity in here and everything like that. This greenhouse is actually attached to my house. See, so it's like attached to my house. So I can read everything right here. I got my humidity and my thermostat. Just a cheap little one. My humidity and thermostat right here. I look at it. This is the view from my house, so I can see everything that goes on in here. So if something's struggling, something happens, we could just run out here and do what we got to do. No more tunnels. We did attach our one tunnel to the greenhouse, but last year, man, I'll tell you what, running out into the middle of the yard to the tunnels with the heat going and all the humidity because of being so cold, when you open up those doors of the tunnels and all that cold water falls on you and it's 20 degrees outside, I'm done with that. It's attached to the house now, nice and easy. I walk right through. I put a door on and everything, made it nice, so I don't have to worry about nothing. But that's my update, man. I just I figured I start utilizing this channel. I'm gonna start doing a little educational videos on lighting and potting. And if you guys got any questions, man, just bring them to the table. I mean, listen, if Ink Gardener doesn't have the answer, we'll find you one. I mean, that's just what we do. We're very educated and read a lot. And Peppers, everybody knows Peppers not when they're adults, but when they're younger, they're probably one of the hardest plants to grow. But once your pepper plants are established, they're the most resilient plants. You know. Um, oh, thanks, Walker. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, we're just trying to. I mean, really, honestly, it ain't even about building a channel. Yeah, we want subs and we want followers and everything. That would be great. But really, this is for the chili community itself, for our friends. How many times people message us in our inbox and ask us questions, and we help everybody out. So, why not make videos and just show people? Especially now that winter's coming, it's fall and winter's going to be coming. Everybody's asking lighting questions, soil questions, nutrient schedules. Um, we have a very strict regimen that Tammy and I use. You know, hold on. If your plants are turning yellow and they're not, hold on a second. My comments are all messed up. They're not overwatered and you're not underwater. Okay, so two things. Miller time. Two things. If they are root bound and there's no nutrients in the soil, yes, they will turn yellow. Here's the thing, it's not really because they're root bound, it's because they're depleted of nitrogen. I mean, not nitrogen, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind, of iron. Iron. So when you start to get yellow leaves, I'll show you, well, this plant is because she was wilting. She didn't have her nutrients because she was covered in clay, right? You see this plant? You see how you have the yellow and the green and how the lines are in there? This is low iron right there. So that's what's going to happen. When your leaves start to turn yellow, they start to fall off and everything like that, it is because they're root bound. That's 9 times out of 10. And don't get me wrong, your plants aren't going to die if they're root bound. They're going to get short, stubby, stocky, hard as a rock. You put them in fresh soil, they're going to thrive. They're going to blow up and thrive. You know. Well, Larry, dude, growing peppers from seed is real easy, man. People's biggest problems, number one, is germination process. Once you get past your germination process, which is real easy, you don't have to listen. Don't follow what people say. Don't bury your seeds a quarter inch, because here's what happens. When you put fresh soil in a pot, you bury your seed a quarter inch and you start watering it, the soil's loose. So that seed starts to drop lower and lower and lower and doesn't have a chance to germinate. It'll probably rot out before it germinates. So what you do is kind of pack your soil, pop your seeds on, depending on how you do it. If you're doing one seed per cell or you're putting a bunch of seeds in a pot and you're going to separate them afterwards after they sprout, just pack the soil down a little bit, wet it, put the seeds on top, a little layer of soil right over them, spritz them with water every day. Walk in there, spritz them with water, keep them on a heat mat, or keep a warm, keep warmth underneath that pot. They'll all grow. They'll germinate in 2 seconds. It's that easy. And Tammy's in here. Tammy will start answering questions if I don't see them, because she's the germination queen. She'll get depending on the seeds. Listen, if you got bad seeds, they're bad seeds. But if you got quality seeds, you'll get 99% germination for the most part. If they're dried right and they're done right, you're going to get about 90% germinate. I mean, 98% germination, no problem. Um, and then, as far as growing seedlings, here's what we do. Okay, so besides the lighting, because for seedlings you can use a regular 5-6K shop light. Don't put the light on top of it; it's gonna burn the plant. Keep the light above it. It's sufficient enough. If the plants start to stretch and you get too much space between the nodes, so like everybody knows what nodes are, but I'll kind of show you on a big plant. So see these little bumps? These are nodes. Okay, so those are nodes. So if you're getting too much spacing between, the plant's stretching. So that's a problem. That's where you lower your light just a little bit, because you don't want that plant to stretch, be flimsy, and be flopping in the wind. But usually after a couple of weeks, what Tammy likes to do is hit them with a little Cultivation Nation. It's cheap, probably the best product. I love it from Fox Farm. Cultivation Nation for seedlings. You start hitting them about 3 weeks, they're going to grow. Dude, another 2 weeks, I'm telling you, you'll have a mature plant by 8 weeks. And remember, plants don't have a light cycle, so you can keep your lights on longer. It isn't like marijuana where you put it in the flower and it has to be 12-12. You can keep the lights. Listen, a plant always needs to kind of, it needs a rest, okay? And your plants will speak to you. They really will. If you have too much lighting and you keep them on 18 hours a day every day, which we do sometimes, that's how we super grow. Once the leaves start to sag a little, your plant's telling you it's tired. I mean, it's that simple. Your plant's saying, "Man, I'm tired. Shut off that light." Boom, you shut off the light. In the morning when you go in there, they're going to be perky, up, and alive. And like I said, you just got to listen to your plants. Plants are very resilient, and they will speak to you. They're a living organ. You know, they're a living thing on this earth, and people think I'm crazy, and people think other people are crazy for talking to their plants, but really, they're a living thing. They speak to you. If there's too much light, the leaves will sag. They'll tell you there's too much light. You shut the light off. If there's a deficiency, it will show you within its leaves. It'll show you different colors and different things that happen. And as long as you know how to read that and read your plants, you can kind of pick it up and address the situation before it does any damage to the actual plant itself. You know, if that helps. And Larry, if you ever have any problems, man, just reach out to us. If I'm not around, Tammy's around. Tammy does all the ceilings. Listen, that's Tammy's thing. You want to know what I do? I sit down with her with a notepad. I decide with her what we're going to grow, even though she never sticks to the plan and there's always extra varieties I don't know about. Um, she does all the ceilings, all the germination, all the ceilings. She loves doing it. I just help water, watch them grow. I'll go in and turn off lights, and I'm the supplement for Ink Gardner. That's all I am. Tammy does everything. I'm the supplement. Okay, if she doesn't feel well, which is more often than not, I'll come out, I'll water, I'll turn on lights, I'll pick up where she left off. Otherwise, I'm the supplement. That's all I am. I'm like the nutrients of the plants. That I'm the nutrients of Ink Gardner. When she needs to give me to Ink Gardner, that's what she does. Otherwise, she does the show. And I just make sauces. And I've been drying pods lately because she gave up. You know, she kind of passed that on to me. I didn't tell you guys. She kind of passed that on to me without passing it on to me. She used to process and do all the pods. Now that I'm doing it, she hasn't said nothing. Every once in a while, she'll be like, "Oh, want me to help?" She'll do a tray or two, put them in the oven. But now she passed that task on to me. So that's that. But if anybody needs any help, or if anybody has any ideas for content that you want to hear, you want to learn about, please, man, post it, comment on it, dude. If you want to learn about lighting, if you want to learn about soil, if you want to learn about nutrients, deficiencies, whatever it may be, man, reach out. I'll do a whole entire segment on it. You know, I don't mind at all. I mean, it's winter time. I ain't got nothing but time now. It's gonna be cold outside. I don't have 1,600 plants to water every day. I just got the few in here, and in here, cooler weather, less water. It's a lot easier to take care of. But I'm gonna get running. Everybody, be good. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Like I said, this is for the chili community, the gardeners, anybody who wants to learn. Believe it or not, I may look like this, but I am a farmer and a gardener, and I do know what I'm doing. So everybody, be good. Peace.